Hey everyone, Johnny here. Don't speak news. News we're not supposed to speak about. Well, this is news everybody should be speaking about, so here we go. This just came in over Telegram. Trump is angry. He says Israel is not slowing down the assault on Iran. You're going to find out in the next 2 days. You're going to find out. Well, we're going to find out. Well, that remains to be seen, but I think we can get some clues. Let's take a look around the internet, shall we? First, yesterday, we'll start here over in Axios. Trump leaves G7 summit early after his evacuate Tehran warning. So he was telling everybody they needed to evacuate Tehran because of what's coming from Israel. And he wasn't real clear on what exactly was coming. Not to mention, if you look at Tehran and the surrounding area around Tehran, the suburbs, talking about like 16 million people that he says need to evacuate. And so the White House came out and tried to clarify things and tone it down a bit, but the damage is already done, as you can see. So President Trump called on Iranian civilians to immediately evacuate Tehran on Monday evening, shortly after which the White House announced he would be departing the G7 summit early to attend to many important matters, the biggest of which being the war between Iran and Israel right now. So why it matters? It's not immediately clear what triggered Trump's dramatic post on Truth Social or his early return from Canada. Israel has been conducting strikes in Tehran since Thursday night, but the U.S. has so far declined to join the operation. Although now, if we go over to Telegram again, we'll see there's Mossad headquarters on fire this morning. But a very senior government official says the U.S. military is joining the attacks on Iran. It's just a matter of a few hours and not of days. And so that goes along with this one. This is an important update. We have detected U.S. movement in the past 48 hours, which now indicate an imminent U.S. strike against Iranian nuclear facilities. It's imperative if you've got family or friends around Natanz, Fordow, Isfahan, Bushehr, Parchin, and Iraq, tell them to leave the area because it will very likely be struck with impunity using U.S. bombers without much warning. I expect the United States strikes in the coming hours and days. These are extraordinary times. Godspeed and stay safe. So any time now, guys. Just any time. And so then we have this. Just this morning, I received this from a friend of mine. U.S. Air Force sends out 2 mysterious encrypted nuclear emergency codes. Is Washington preparing for war? Well, yes, more than likely. So this was originally on the Gateway Pundit. Over the weekend, the U.S. Air Force dropped not 1, but 2 enigmatic emergency action messages, or EAMs for short. On June 14th, a 246-character encrypted code blasted across high-frequency global communication system, the same system used to transmit emergency alerts to our nuclear-capable bombers, missiles, and subs. Yes, it's a whole separate communication system. The very next day, on June 15th, another code, this time clocking in at nearly 290 characters, would broadcast. EAMs usually top out at around 30 characters. These extended transmissions are, quite frankly, unprecedented, according to the Express. Emergency action messages are not casual communications. They are highly encrypted, time-sensitive directives used to convey nuclear launch codes. And so a lot is going on behind the scenes that we're not being made aware of. According to U.S. military doctrine, EAMs can initiate major attack options, or MAOs, limited attack options, LAOs, that are cryptographically secured to prevent interception or tampering. And so here's an example of that. So the U.S. Air Force has broadcasted 2 encrypted codes, and the reason for doing so remains unclear. A 20-minute transmission sent on Saturday, June 14th, from the Air Service has since been intercepted and leaked online. While the code hasn't been cracked, it was sent through the high-frequency global communication system, which is a network the U.S. Air Force a lot uses to communicate with planes, ground bases, and some Navy units. It works using shortwave radio signals, which can travel long distances, and is crucial for sending emergency messages and other critical information quickly. A recording of the message was uploaded onto Twitter. And so there you go, guys. That's your biggest indication right now that not only is the war about to expand and include U.S. Air Force planes, but it's also going to possibly include, very likely include, nuclear weapons to get to these underground facilities. My guess is the bunker busters may not get the job done. So maybe they need something even stronger. So we'll see. But we also have a lot going on in Ukraine right now, as the largest Russian strikes in months have hit the Ukrainian capital, killing 15 and wounding over 100. Russia overnight unleashed one of its largest and sustained attacks on the Ukrainian capital of Kiev in recent months, resulting in 15 people killed and over 100 wounded. The assault, which lasted some 10 hours, involved a coordinated barrage of drones, ballistic and cruise missiles, and severely impacted residential areas, including a direct hit on a 9-story apartment building in the city's Samolsky district. Part of the building collapsed after being struck by Shahed drones and a ballistic missile. Emergency crews are responding to the smoke-filled scene through the morning hours. Mayor Vitaly Klitschko said that every minute the number of injured and dead is increasing. We cannot say for certain how many casualties there have been. Well, since Ukraine likes to hide in apartment buildings and schoolhouses and so on, it wouldn't surprise me that a bunch of troops were in there. But anyway, be that as it may, speaking to journalists at the scene, Kiev Mayor Klitschko said that every minute the number of injured, we already said that. The aftermath of the attack has been documented at 24 separate sites across Kiev's Solomonsky and all these different districts. City authorities have indicated fires raged into Tuesday in at least 2 locations of the capital, and further described that 30 apartments were destroyed in a single residential block, and emergency services were searching through the rubble for possible survivors. So, attempting to get Washington's attention, Ukrainian Minister of Foreign Affairs, Andrei Sybiha, suggested that the massive and brutal strike was deliberately timed, so it was a serious insult to President Donald Trump. And so, yeah, they're trying to play to Trump's ego and get some more assistance. Because right now, they're getting pummeled, and Israel's getting all the attention of the United States. But this is worldwide Armageddon. That's what this is right here in Ukraine. Part of the worldwide Armageddon that Leland Jones talks about. Speaking of which, I put up a new post on the YouTube channel. I mirrored it on the YouTube channel. I also put it over here on don'tspeaknews.com. This is the sudden destruction. That's what we're witnessing right now. Spoken about in 1 Thessalonians 5:3. So if you want to see the biblical perspective of where things are, there's a new post here from Leland. And the notes are also there as well, the link to the notes. Now back to the wars. We have Chinese embassy evacuating from Tehran. That was early yesterday. And also from Israel. They're ordering all their citizens to leave Israel and go through the Jordanian border across the land because they're not able to fly out because of all the missiles incoming from Iran. And then now first China, now Russia too, citizens ordered to leave Israel immediately. So after President Trump publicly and personally posted on social media that everyone should immediately evacuate Tehran, China orders its citizens to leave Israel immediately. So as of 11:45 p.m. Eastern Time last night, Russia has now ordered all of its citizens to leave Israel immediately. It now appears that if Iran is destroyed by Israel and the United States, that Russia and China are prepared to destroy Israel as well. Tehran has a bigger population than New York City, 9.7 million in the city itself, and 16.8 million in the metro area. This threat would be the equivalent of Xi or Putin telling everyone living in New York City to evacuate immediately. Yeah, that's a good comparison, I would say. And there you have it. Very short, sweet, and to the point. And that, I believe, will be it for now, guys. Wow, it's all here. We're on the verge of the return of Jesus Christ because we're at the point of Armageddon, a point of all the armies gathering around Jerusalem. It's close, man. And things are happening at a rapid pace. I mean, look at this. You know, just this morning, on top of everything else, the mysterious encrypted nuclear emergency codes. Is Washington preparing for war? I'd say, yeah, 110%. So keep your eyes on my Telegram account, guys, because I put a lot of updates up here. My guts have been giving me a lot of issues over the last couple of days, so I do what I can, when I'm well enough to do so. And this morning, I've been given the grace to do a broadcast, so here I am. So there you go, guys. I will keep you as updated as I possibly can, but keep in mind I'm a one-man operation here, so I'm doing the best that I can. Well, here's another blurb. Donald Trump just said he doesn't care about what Tulsi Gabbard said regarding Iran's nuclear capabilities and intent when she recently briefed the Congress. That was back in March. He says, I don't care what she said. I think that that Iran's very close to having one. So that's what he's talking about. So he's disputing his own director of intelligence, who says in this clip here, well, I'll just let you listen to it quick. Here you go.
The IC continues to assess that Iran is not building a nuclear weapon, and Supreme Leader Khamenei has not authorized the nuclear weapons program that he suspended in 2003. The IC continues to monitor closely if Tehran decides to reauthorize its nuclear weapons program.
So she says they haven't tried to make a nuclear weapon since 2003. Of course, I've got intel that says they've had nuclear weapons and warheads since 1992, and they got them from Kazakhstan when the Soviet Union dissolved. So anyway, be that as it may, Iran says they're going to have some big surprises in store, and that's why, more than likely, China and Russia, and a lot of European nations as well, have ordered their citizens to leave Israel immediately. Germany, France, and other nations in Europe have said the same thing. So something's coming, guys. Possibly something nuclear, possibly something even worse. It's thermobaric weapons, all kinds of things that they have that we've never even seen, most likely. So prayed up and prepped up at all times. Seek Jesus Christ now while he still may be found. He's the way, the truth, and life, and no one gets to the Father but through him. If he's been calling your name, if you've been feeling a pulling to come home to Jesus Christ, then do so right now before it's too late. Because he comes at a time when we think not. When we're not looking for him, that's when he's going to appear. So be ready at all times. That's why I say prayed up first and prepped up second. You can only prep for so many things. And like we're seeing with these landslides and earthquakes and everything else, how do you plan for that? How do you prep for that? You really don't. So pray it up first, guys, because we don't know what day we leave this life and step into eternity. And you want to do it in the right place. So seek Jesus now while you still can. It's the most important prep you can make because it has to deal with your eternity, not this short life here. All right. Well, don'tspeaknews.com, home base for all that we do. And we need your support right now. We're listener supported only. And we've got 2 days to get the internet bill paid. So we need $130 here right quick, along with a couple of subscriptions, new subscriptions that I have. So here's the channel support tab. All these links are also at the bottom of every post. There's Buy Me a Coffee, there's PayPal, and so on. And we thank you very much for those who do support us. And I thank you very much for those who pray for us as well, because we need all of it, especially the prayers, as like we've been getting attacked like nobody's business. So thank you very much for that. Now, if you want to subscribe to the channel or contact me, click on this tab here. The contact email is don'tspeaknews@protonmail, and then just type in your email here, click on subscribe, and then you'll be notified every time I put up a new post, a new video, what have you. Because sometimes I put things here that I don't put on YouTube because I can't, right? So I put them over here on the website. So if you want to be notified every time I put up something new, type in your email, click on subscribe, and then you'll be notified. And then to find us on Rumble, BitChute, YouTube, and other places, click on this tab, and all the links to find us are right here. And we thank you very much for stopping by, and that would be it for now. God bless, take care. Johnny Storm, Don't Speak News.